One, start.
Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another episode of Battle of the North. No, I don't know. I actually don't know where Husam is. I'm not going to say that there is no Husam, even though there isn't, because he will be here at some point, but he's not here yet. And, you know, I will cook him when he arrives, and then he'll probably want to return the favor. But as we speak at this current moment, the trio is in the building. Flawless, Mr. Sarcasm City TV, Mr. Take Note, my brother for the day, especially on this day, because he's going to be helping me out, I'm sure. Flawless in the building. How you doing?
See this, people. Let this be a lesson, yeah. How football karma spins the block. Because for 2 weeks, no, the past 3 weeks, Matisse randomly just decided to try to get at me and get at my team. But now we both lost this week. He's like, let's alliance and let's team up. Sounded like Husam over there. That's what he sounded like over there. But yes, I am good. I'm blessed. Minus my team. Big up for having me as always. Great to see Daps as always. And even better when we start the show and Husam's not here. So yes, I'm in a great mood.
Daps, never a foul, 2-footed tackles. How are you doing, brother? Talk to me. How are you feeling? Another win.
Oh, listen, I had a nice couple of days away last week in Athens. Picked up one of them Super Cup thingies that you lot, I know you lot have been talking about them for years, going, oh, you know, yeah, we're champions of this, champions of that. So we just thought we'd grab one of them for fun. City have got this this setup now where they've got the 4. By the way, we've all doing it in 7 months. We're going to do the lot, right? And they've actually got the stands for all of them, and there's one stand empty now, just waiting to have that World Club Cup put on there.
Is that happening this year, or is that happening in 2025? And everybody's
no, Saudi, 19th to 23rd in Saudi of December.
Because they were restructuring that competition, and we've qualified because we won the Champions League a couple of years ago. Obviously, Real Madrid were then qualified, and then now you've qualified, and I think they were trying to make up like a mega
make it a bit better. To make it better, probably, yeah.
It happens. I think the plan was that it happens less often, but then it happens in a grander way where there's more teams.
That makes
involved.
sense. That makes sense. Like like a World Cup, but a World Club Cup. So it happens every 4 years would make sense, and then you get some better teams. That would make sense to me, you know. That would make sense to me, and you get like the winners of the Champions League over the last 4 years, all in one tournament. Then you get the winners of all the other ones. Yeah, so that would make sense. But now the interesting one is this year we might have to play Benzema's team. So it'll be, you know, there'll be a bit. Yeah, but yeah, and then yeah. So was at that, then got back, train up to Manchester Saturday, and was at the game on Saturday with some of my mates that actually got back from Athens Saturday morning, and then we were at the game Saturday evening. So,
Jesus Christ, proper benders weekend, isn't it? Proper bender.
Oh,
weekend.
Listen, what them lot do is they'll do like a few days in Corfu. After so do a couple of days in Benidorm before, a couple of days in Corfu afterwards, and then back up to the game. So, but yeah, man, it was a good result, and yeah, and it's even better when them lot above me lose.
Manchester United. Listen,
them lot. And to be frank with you, you know, with the hype that you gremlins are coming up with, and by the way, me and Steve had a chat in Athens about it, yeah, and we've decided that yourself, Lewis, Don, this is Gremlins 3, the new batch, right? Because you've already started making noise again, ain't you? And now, I guess, because yesterday, you still noisy, or
what noise was we making?
Oh, you lot have been noisy. I've been hearing you. You've been noisy.
What noise?
Been noisy.
Please clarify what, especially with Man City fans. I'm not sure what noise.
Oh, bro, I hear a lot. I have to face a lot of noise off of Chelsea fans that try and
you are facing noise. You want me to believe that Manchester City fans are facing
Chelsea
noise
fans? Yeah.
After doing a treble last year.
Oh yeah, that's how noisy you. That's how noisy you lot are.
Who is talking to Man City at this point?
A lot of the Chelsea comments, but even but the thing is, yeah, I always talk about when people say things to me, I'll take certain things off of people. Like if Flawless right now wants to talk to me about leagues, yeah, the history and how many leagues he's got, I'll know myself and I'll go, do you know what? I hear it, right? If Husam arrives and starts going, put all of your Champions Leagues on the table, I'll be like, yeah, I hear it. I know myself. I know the arguments. The ones that confuse me is when I get Chelsea fans telling me, what did you lot do before money? And I'm just like,
I've never, ever seen a single Chelsea fan say that. Unless people are disguising themselves as Chelsea fans and acting in that way. I can't even believe that is something.
Listen, there's different types of gremlins. There's gizmos and there's spikes. Yeah, maybe I've just come across the spikes and less of the gizmos. Maybe you're a gizmo.
Until Husam gets here, if he ever gets here, and I will cuss him when he gets here. But I think there's only one place to start, and that is out of the 3 games, the one that was the most entertaining to me, anyway, and that was Flawless's match. And I know he's looking, and he knows he's the first one up, so. There's no point hiding away from it for sure. Anybody here? Tottenham and Man United were the 2 biggest teams going on.
What were you just eating there? Were they Frosties?
Nah, patty. That's what that was.
For some reason, the bowl made me thought you were having a bowl of cereal.
No. Patty in it.
Okay. What? Lamb beef?
Lamb.
Beef I always go for the lamb, to be fair. Lamb.
I thought you were going to make some sort of pun.
No. Oh, no. I was trying to think of one quickly. Couldn't think of one, so I just rolled with it.
I was like, I hope this is going towards.
No, it's not. It was actually a food.
It was very disappointing. I'm not going to lie.
It was a food conversation. Listen. I'm vegan. I don't want no beef, so we're just keeping it. You know.
But, Flawless, talk to me. 2-0 defeat. Actually, do you know what? I did watch the game. You guys were good in the second part of the first half, at least. You know, you guys were creating. You were.
You've given them 20 minutes of good football.
At halftime, they should have been winning, in my opinion. I think they should have been 2 or 3.
Absolutely, we should have been. But I just want to get to, you see how when Daps said what he said about what you eating, and then Matisse is like, I was expecting a shot. This is the same guy who just under 7 minutes ago just said, yo, we need to click up. See this, people. You know what I'm saying? This is why I am the way I am in it. I'm just pointing that out. But yeah, what's the question, Matisse? What do you want to know, my friend?
How are you feeling after what events took place? I see a lot of people talking about Ten Hag now, and there's little doubts about his squad planning and his kind of methods and whatnot. But
classic with Manchester United, and this is one thing, again, this has made me realize, even though that's not a word, it's Manchester United were either great, I'm going to do everything and win everything, or we're either terrible and the manager needs to go and all the players need to go. There's no rational thinking. Understand the criticism of Ten Hag after the game. Absolutely. Him going with, I said this before the game, if he goes with the same lineup and we don't win, that's on him. I'm putting the vast majority of the blame on him, even though for the first hour or so, we played decent. We didn't play extremely well, but we was decent. We actually created, surprisingly enough. Didn't create a lot, but created enough to be in front. But then again, I'm not shocked that we didn't score or shocked that we missed. It's because what have I been talking about on the show all summer long? Where's our goals and creativity coming from? Surprisingly, we actually had, to an extent, the creativity part. It's the goals part. We don't have goals in this team. Been saying we scored 58 league goals last season and have added Mason Mount. So why are we shocked when we look bad in front of goal? So all this, see, you smiling because you know I'm 110% right, and you try to run this crap about, Manchester United should finish second. Surely you should expect more from Sancho and Martial and Anthony. Why? Let's stop looking.
I did not mention Martial. I did not mention Martial.
Okay, whoever, you know the point. Okay, you didn't mention Martial, but you mentioned other players. The point, that the overall point still stands of the bullshit you tried to run. And like I said, I will never forget that when I was scrolling down Instagram and seeing that Big Six post and seeing all the predictions from everybody, and I see Matisse United second, and I'm like, huh? And then you like, yo, surely you know what I'm saying, players are going to play better. Why? Yeah, go on.
Flawless. Cass is running the same thing on me. Like, I spent Friday evening and even Saturday morning before I went to the game with Cass telling me that Manchester United will finish above Manchester City. But again, when I tried to push him on the reasoning why, all he could do is talk on Manchester City and go, I think Manchester City. I was like, that's great, bro, but I want you to tell me why you think Manchester United will finish above Manchester City. Then he went on to tell me why Arsenal will challenge City for the title. I said, again, I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I want you to tell me about Manchester United. Tell me about your club, please. Tell me about why your club can finish above. But there does seem to be this amongst some of your fan base that there is something there this season.
Yes, and I said this on this show. I've said it on my platform. I've said it on every platform I've been for. I said a lot of Manchester United fans are vastly overrating this team for multiple reasons. One, we haven't seen us play in a while. So people forget how bad we are because it happens during international breaks too. So that's number one. Number two, we made some new signings. Number three, we got rid of some players. And number four, we had a good result beating Arsenal in the preseason game as well. But like I said, that has no bearing. And people are vast because this team has not changed that much. When people say, oh, I don't see the difference. It's the same team added Mason Mount. Yes, that is on Ten Hag, who I said on this show again, Mason Mount's a horrible signing. Now all of a sudden, everyone who wanted to get at me about that, shut up. No, I don't get that. The amount of super chats that came up on this all summer long, on this channel in particular. And Matisse is smiling because he knows where it's flawless. Why are you being so negative? Ten Hag can get the most out of him. We can challenge. We can win the league. 2 weeks. Game week 2. And already people talking about, wow, we might not finish in the top 6. It's the same. Why was it? It don't take a footballing genius to figure that out. But yeah, back to the Spurs game in itself as well. Yes, we should have been ahead, but Bruno missed the sitter. Rashford really should have scored. Obviously, Anthony was unlucky hitting the post. There was one where Garnacho miscontrolled it in the first half, and if his touch is better, he probably scores. But I put the majority of the blame on the loss on Ten Hag. And then as soon as we went a goal down, our players just folded. We didn't create anything. Minus we conceded. We went down the other end. Anthony hit the post, and we didn't create anything else up until Palestri came on late and should have had a penalty when we was 2-0 down. That's legit it. But again, it's these players not good enough. I understand the criticisms of Ten Hag. Fully get that. Fully, because Mount's on him. And that's a bad sign. And that's something he needs to rectify in this window. Because if he doesn't, we'll be in trouble. But this whole thing of, Ten Hag out, I'm like, we're 2 games in. Same way if we had played well and we had beat Spurs and we beat Wolves and looked fantastic, I won't be sat here saying, well, some fans would be, we're going to win the league. Not in the slightest. No. And what it is with Cass, with you, Daps, is you got to understand, you man are bros. He's tired of you just being successful in his face. That's just what it is. He's tired of it. So I get where that comes from. That's why I don't, because me and him had that conversation last time I was on Never a Foul. I think it was a few weeks ago, like 5-6 weeks ago. And he was talking about Arsenal finishing above you. I said, Arsenal are not better than Manchester City. But I get why. I can look at it from a reasonable standpoint and go, you lot are clear of everyone anyway, so I don't worry about it. Like, that's not, it bothers me, but what can man do? I'm at acceptance with that. You lot are better than us. Simple as that. Yeah, go on, Matisse. Is he froze?
Matisse, tell me about your song.
He's froze.
Matisse?
Yeah, he's froze.
No, I think he's doing this so he don't have to talk on Chelsea.
That's it, you reckon that's it, innit? Froze.
Well, that is a mad pose, you know. I need to get a picture of that real quick.
Yeah, get a picture of that, 100%. Just Matisse doing it.
Well, while Matisse isn't here, I will ask everyone to smash the like button because Matisse doesn't like people enough. Doesn't ask people. He also doesn't like people enough. Just to put that out there, but he also doesn't ask people to hit the like button enough. So please, people, support your boy and smash the like button. And he will be back any second, hopefully. So we've got no Husam and we've got no Chelsea at the moment.
It is. So this is all Manchester show now. This is the takeover.
It is. We're taking over.
We're taking over everything. But yeah,
have you heard that Mount song yet?
I've not actually heard it from the stands because that's how bad he's been playing. But that's the only 5.
No.
The Chelsea one.
Chelsea have got one on him.
I've not seen it. I've only seen the lyrics, but I've not heard it.
Mad. And they're singing it as well, which confuses me because he's a Cobham boy, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's Pompey through and through. He said it in an interview. He's Portsmouth.
What's Portsmouth?
Yeah, he's a Portsmouth fan. Yeah. Did you not know? Yeah, he's a Portsmouth fan. Yeah. Even though he came through the Cobham system, he's Portsmouth. That's why when he scores against who's their rivals? Southampton.
Right, okay,
Right, yeah. When he scores against Southampton.
Right, I didn't know that.
He's proper Pompey. Yeah, the chat will know. But in regards to Mason Mount, terrible signing, people. And it's not all on him. I had defeat, but I've said this. Man had, 14 passes, in 84 minutes. Can you do?
Again, I see that. I think Rodri had something like 114 completed passes.
14, Go on.
I think the thing is, Cass and I had this debate on Saturday. It got quite heated because I don't think he was understanding what I was saying. But he was saying, but Mount is a bench player. And I was saying, no, you want him to be a bench player. He's not a bench player. And he was saying, why can't he be? I said, well, because the difference is Havertz could be a bench player at Arsenal because the difference between what they paid for Rice and what they paid for Havertz is significantly different. which tells you they've got the budget to be spending 65 million on a bench player. I said, who's the what's your biggest signing this summer? The biggest signing for Man United, I believe, is about 65.
Yes, I think it's Heineken'S. Heineken'S was a little bit more money than Mount. Yeah.
Right. A little bit more, which tells me Mount hasn't been brought in. He's like your second biggest signing this summer. He's been brought in to be a
100%. He's definitely been brought in to start, without doubt. And again, that's the error on the manager. Like, that's on him.
I think because it's
him
and Bruno
on him. Yeah, because it was never
going
to work.
Yeah, that's never going to work.
That's the crazy part about it is those two, like Mount, even though I think he's a bad player, then you look at the team he's going into, it's like, why was this ever going to work? This is why him not performing hasn't surprised me. He was in North London. If you put him in West London and put him in a blue shirt, it's the same thing. He's performing exactly how he performed at Chelsea. This is not a surprise to me. This is not a shock. This is why I've not even got onto him. This is
Do
what
you not
I
also...
expected. Go on. You're back. Go on, fam.
Just about back. This is the Chelsea gods helping you out today.
But what? But
yeah, this is Gallagher
why as
marking at the
well
back post. Go on.
Yeah, I don't know what's been going on with that.
Yeah, your connection's moving. Mad Matisse.
Your connection is moving.
But
this is that Casado Enzo.
Why?
Bro, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's
Bro, you need to go and get Bazuma. It might sort it out.
Why in the false nine with Rashford on the left? Because
go on.
Is it still moving mad?
Yeah. Yep.
Still moving mad?
Yep.
Yeah, go on. Say something else. Yo, jump out and jump back in, fam. Yeah,
that was proper 12. That was proper 12.
That was 12. That was proper 12. Yo, did you hear that as well? I heard that Enzo's only won 3 matches.
Yeah, I've heard that. And this is the thing. I had someone say to me last week, and again, do you know what? People that say, yeah, but there are idiots out there. We have to speak on it. I had someone tell me yesterday, or not yesterday, on Friday, I think it was, that Enzo is going to get more GA than Kevin De Bruyne this season.
Hey, you can hope.
And I said, listen, De Bruyne's out till January, so maybe, but I'd probably put money on the fact that De Bruyne comes back in January and gets more GA than Enzo.
But you got to understand, though, that so a lot of the time when people are talking to you about Manchester City, it's just from a place of hope. Like when people say, oh, they hope like, oh, City will fall off. Pep won't be able to motivate the players. Yeah. The players won't want to go again. That's not based in logic and fact. That's hoping that it happens. Because the only way you lot don't win is if you lot beat yourselves. City have to mess it up for themselves.
Thank you, bro. That is all. Like when I say I don't care about who other teams sign, or I don't care this, or I don't care that, and people go, "No, you're lying." I said, "No. If we are at our best, we win the league, right?
Yes.
If we're not at our best, we won't win the league." And even at the moment where people are saying to me, "Who does City need? City needs to sign players. Who do they sign?" I say, "I don't know," but I do have faith in Pep. And it's blind faith. And I'm allowed to have blind faith in Pep.
He just repeated him when you were treble. That's blind faith.
Yeah.
Yes. If he signs anybody, you have blind, because he's not got credit in the bank. He owns the bank at this point. You just repeated him when a treble. And you signed Doku. And what's crazy is that's when I was watching the game against Newcastle, I was looking at it and going, that's what you're missing, is to bring someone off the bench who's direct. And it pains me to admit this. Don't get mistaken to anyone in the chat. I'm not happy about this, but I'm just being a realist and being honest. I've said it before. I'll say it again. No one is near them, even if they fall off. Let's say they go from being a 10 to being an 8. City's 8 is still clear of anybody else who's around. Whether that's United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, whoever you want to go and get. Like, that's the issue. Now, if Liverpool were where they at previously, they could be in trouble because they was close. That's a team that's hit 99 points, I think, twice. But Liverpool are no longer that. Yes, Matisse, you're back, my friend.
I don't know if I'm back properly.
You are
back, man. You're back.
You're back.
I have to ask the question.
You pray like I say, though, yeah? We'll go.
I asked the question. Why did you guys play Sancho at false 9 in pre-season and Rashford on the left, opportunity potentially to get out Pedro Porro? And yet we know that Garnacho didn't start well against Wolves. Why not go back to that? Because we all know Rashford can't play 9. Rashford up front is just not. It's not making sense. Even when Martial comes on, we all know Martial connects the dots better. He just can't keep himself fit. Rashford last season was devastating on the left wing for good parts of the season, and Garnacho is not levels when he starts. He's an impact player. So if everybody knows that, why not use Sancho in the central position like we saw in preseason where he played so well? I don't understand that move from Ten Hag. Anthony is just his own separate problem out there. For me, because he bought Anthony for the price he bought him, you kind of have to play Anthony because you bought him. You got to show that the investment was worth it. But what's with this Rashford up front thing? What's with that?
I think it's multiple things. One, I think it's stubbornness. Number one. Number two, managers just making mistakes, which he's going to make. He's just making a mistake. And three, it shows you where he's at in terms of rating Sancho. If Sancho can't play now, when there's no fit senior striker available, because Martial's not up to speed, and Martial's someone I think if we got a good offer for, we get rid of. It shows you where he's at. So all this this is where I look at preseason. Yeah, he played him there in preseason. Personally, I wanted to see it in the game because that's the only position I think Sancho is successful. But it goes to show, forget what I think or other Manchester United fans think. Ten Hag showing with his selection where he has Sancho. He don't rate him that highly. That's just simply what it is. If you can't play now, when are you going to play? Højlund's not available. We know Rashford's not a 9. Martial is probably not up to speed because he's been injured already in preseason. Legit, like he's not going to play. That shows you whether that's right or wrong. Personally, I would start him. I said this, I would have started Sancho against Wolves. I would have started Sancho in the middle against Spurs, and I would start him against Nottingham Forest as well on Saturday. However, I'm hoping the manager changes it. And in regards to the front three, in regards to Anthony, Garnacho, and the whole midfield, it's the manager just being stubborn and making mistakes. I'll call it as I see it. Even though I back the manager and I'm a fan of Ten Hag, if he does something wrong, I'll say it. And that's on the manager. You just fucking up right now.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
It is 100%. I mean, you guys, second half, you were just nowhere to be seen, man. It was actually mad. You got Saar Basuma just absolutely just toying with you lot in the midfield. Your whole midfield just went missing. There was a moment where they kind of sucker punched you in to Casemiro and Mount to close down. They bypassed you completely. And then from that moment on, I just remember the midfield just devoid of all confidence, just went missing. Even Casemiro was getting nutmegged by Basuma there on some moments. It was nuts. But what do you think the transfer window is kind of there as an opportunity to save you, or are you just like Man United kind of pretty down on where you can finish this season?
Absolutely, we can be saved because we still, if the window closes and this is it, we're finished. We ain't doing anything. Like I said, even before the games, our ceiling with the current squad is what we did this past season. Is finishing third and winning a trophy. I don't think we can do any better than that. And that's what was so disappointing about the Mount signing and why I was so unhappy about it, because we had the chance to get a certified midfield. With Casemiro, we have a quality operator in there. So if you go get another midfielder who's of quality, all of a sudden our overall midfield looks so much better. And then our overall team looks so much better. And then I go, all right, maybe, but then you go Mount, who's worse than what we have, who unbalances the midfield even more so, which I said these things. Because people just kept looking at, Eriksen, lack of legs, The reason why we look worse with Mount in there is because of a balance thing. Even though Eriksen's not the most defensively sound, one thing he'll do is he'll position himself. He'll be next to Casemiro. Look at the average position map. In particular, the one against Wolves. Mount was the highest player on the pitch. Bruno was to the right. Casemiro's in there by himself. It's literally Casemiro and then 3 Wolves midfielders in front of him. That tells you what you need to know. Yeah. So before you go, Daps. So yes, we have to go into the window and go and sign 2 midfielders. Obviously, we've been linked with Amrabat all window. Reports the Verratti came out yesterday from Let Equip, and yes, he has his injury issues. I'd still go and run the risk at the right price for him.
I like Verratti.
I'm a big fan. Number one, number two, people keep looking at
he's very injury prone.
He's injury prone. People are looking at that as injury prone. That is true. We are not in a position of power to the goals. Run the risk. Because people keep looking at, say it goes wrong if we sign. What happens if it goes right? I always look at that. We are not in no position. We're not Manchester City where they're set with their team and they don't have to take any risks. We are far behind. Verratti is someone who was a gap closer, not necessarily to Manchester City, but to the other teams around us, if it goes right. Not saying it does, people. But I'm a risk taker. Run the risk. You sign him, say you get him on loan, option to buy, and it doesn't go well. All right, cool. Then you just keep it moving. I'm a risk taker. I said the same shit about Neymar. As much as I've been critical of him in the past, for the right price and the right deal, I would have signed him. Because people say, he don't play enough, injuries. What happens if it goes right? If you sign Verratti and it goes right, you have one of the best central midfielders in the league. What are we talking about? It's a desperate signing. Our midfield contains Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes.
You're desperate. You're desperate.
Don't get no more desperate. What are we talking about? Like, we have options. like that. Yeah, but we move on.
I don't know. I look at
Matisse, go on.
Casemiro that's potentially aging, and then I put potentially a Verratti next to him who's injury prone and also aging, and potentially he's past his peak. And I'm thinking to myself, that could be a recipe for disaster, because then you've got two players on high wages. You're saying obviously a loan deal, fair enough. If you was to purchase him,
Yeah,
I think
I'm saying at the right. I'm saying
way too
right.
big a gamble.
Yeah, the reason why I'd run it is a gamble because I'm willing to run the risk. Like Casemiro's 31, Verratti's 30. I have no issues with those two in midfield. No, I have no issues with Casemiro. Was fine last season. No one we're talking about. He's had two ordinary bad games, and all of a sudden, Casemiro's this, that, and the third.
It's the Manchester Fabinho. Manchester Fabinho.
Yeah, that's what people are running with after 2 games. Same way, if he was phenomenal in these first 2 games, I wouldn't be sat here saying, Casemiro's going to do this. Casemiro's still a quality midfielder.
Yeah.
People acted at like 20. People didn't watch him enough in a white shirt at Real Madrid. Like, he didn't have bad games there. Yes, he had less bad games because he's in a better team, of course. But Casemiro is not the problem. I'm running the risk with that. Because it's not just the Verratti. I'd go and get Amrabat as well. To add to that, have options there. Because then you've got someone who can not only play alongside Casemiro, someone who can replace Casemiro at times as well. But he's by himself. Go get whatever DM you want. They would struggle with Mount and Bruno. Go get whoever you want. From right now, or go get the best. Go get a Gattuso who's one, or Makelele, whoever you think's the best.
It did look like Mount was playing a bit deeper in this game, though. There was times in the first half where he was linking up with Casemiro quite well.
No, there was no link up. He had 14 passes in 84 minutes. There was no link up.
That was 1-4, not 4-0, by the way. 14.
1-4 people. 14 passes in 8. He had 24 touches playing central midfield for Manchester United in the Premier League.
Imagine that. If Haaland had 24 touches, he gets spoke on and he plays up top, not in midfield.
24 touches. Bear in mind, people, we had enough possession of the ball. I don't know the first half stats, but overall, we had 44% possession. So it wasn't like we lacked having the ball, but man just hid. But hey, back the manager blindly. Stupid.
I was going to say, with where you are at the moment and what you need, if Mount is going to play a bit further up the pitch, you'd probably rather McTominay.
McTominay is a better, even though I don't rate him, again, like Eriksen, balance. But people don't look at balance. People
got goals in him. Goals in him at least.
People looking at names. Where if you take the 3 best attacking midfielders on paper, that looks cold. If you take Odegaard, De Bruyne, and Enzo and put them in the midfield, on paper, that looks cold. We got these 3. Put them on the pitch, it's not going to work. We've seen it with PSG. That front 3 they had of Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. On paper, fire. Yeah. Put that on FIFA. Whoo! Why did it not work? Because you need to have balance it's a team game. And that's what that's what Mount does, is unbalances the midfield. At least McTominay, as much as I don't rate him, will sit next to Casemiro. Eriksen, for all his deficiencies, will sit next to Casemiro. And that's all Casemiro needs, is a little bit of help. Because he was in this team performing. Now all of a sudden he looks worse, and we've changed one piece next to him. There's a reason for that. But people don't want to look at Mount, because that's too easy. All right, let's blame the world-class player. And I'm saying that our rival fans doing that. Munch tried that shit. Shout out to Big Six, man. Munch tried that bullshit with me and tried to go at Casemiro. Said if Casemiro had 14 touches in 84 minutes, it would have been the first thing you mentioned and would have been on your thumbnail. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try to bypass Mount. You know what I'm saying? I see all the bullshit people. Can't kid a kiddo. I keep saying this. This is why Husam be on my case all the time, because he knows I see
where is
the
that
bullshit.
guy? I can't believe I'm confused. I'm worried for him because I'm sorry, Chelsea lost. Yeah. A week after he got absolutely ruined last week.
Yeah.
That was unfair. I got verbally abused. That was unfair for me last week. You know what I'm saying? I got verbally abused by you, Daps, Matisse,
come on.
Sam, the chat, everybody.
No. I didn't get verbally. I felt sorry for Big Cherry because Big Cherry was like little raisin.
I'm not going to lie. You should never feel sorry for him. He honestly.
To be fair, if you go back and watch it, I wasn't at all. I was being sly as hell and I was just enjoying. Yeah.
I'm saying I got verbally abused, not him. You know what I'm saying? Just for asking questions.
We move.
So I guess the only way to kind of solve this Mount situation, right, is for Man United to kind of adopt what we've seen from other teams, which is even Arsenal last season, where maybe if Mount was in line with Bruno in the more attack-minded areas, and you do get someone alongside Casemiro, or are you just at a point with Mount where you're like, I'm just ready to bench him, play someone next to Casemiro, and go for have Bruno in the 10 operating on his own? Because you have seen a time where 2 players can play at the top of that box midfield, and maybe Mount in line with Bruno that could.
Like Foden and Alvarez did the other day.
Exactly.
I was ready to bench him anyway. What I actually thought Ten Hag was going to do is I said, I think he'll play Bruno and Mount against Spurs. This is before the game, but he'll play one of them out wide. That's what I thought he was going to do. I thought he was going to bring in McTominay, play him next to Casemiro, play, you know what I say Bruno? Yeah, I think I said, play Mount in midfield with those two, and they play Bruno out wide right. I see him doing that, and I don't think that works, but it's better than this.
Who would you have played out wide, Bruno or Mount? I don't think either of them are good out wide.
Oh, I would have, in an ideal world, I would have dropped them both. You know what I'm saying? That's if you give me the choice. I'm not playing either of them. Nah, I tell a lie, you got to play Bruno because of our lack of injuries. I'm benching Mount, because Mount's not even a squad player. Bruno's the squad player. Bruno's a better version of Mount. And they're both two cheeks of the same ass. That's the crazy part. But hey, back the manager blindly, I was told. Bet none of the super chats will say that on here now. That's what I was told all summer long on this channel in particular. Back the manager blindly. Why are you so negative? We can challenge. We can win the league. The midfield will look good in 2 game weeks. 180 minutes, and that's been silenced. I don't see no defense of this anymore. Go on.
Do you see it getting better, though? Because you did start last season quite poor.
We did. Do I see it getting better? Yes, because I trust in Ten Hag to change it. Because I've seen him. We were worse last season than we was this season. So I still trusted him and to go into the win and the window still being open to get somebody else in. But I see him switching it up. But he just got to bite the bullet and realize he's made a mistake. That's what he has to do. Bite the bullet, realize you made a mistake, and rectify it. Like, don't be stubborn with it.
Are you happy with your defense?
Yeah. Not in these first 2 games, but I'm saying overall. Yes.
Here he is. Little Raisin. Here he is.
Hello, guys.
You saying you good?
I apologize. I just made a rookie mistake. My bad. Sorry to Matisse. Sorry to all the audience.
You think it was 7?
No, I worse. I translated it to Jordanian time an hour extra, so I thought it was at 9. I just came to my laptop. Wallahi, I thought I'm early. I'm like, let me switch on my laptop and stuff. I was just speaking to my mom in the other room. There is nothing even crazy. And then I look at the clock and I'm like, oh shit, you know, in movies when they zoom into the protagonist's face and it's like, oh shit, like moment of realization.
I don't even think he deserves to even cook anyone today.
I'm sorry.
I don't think you deserve to even cook.
Apologies. Honestly. I know. Apologize. I don't even want to. It's not on purpose. It's by mistake. Okay.
Listen.
Do you know what? He doesn't deserve to cook anyone. But Husam, just to make you aware that Chelsea and Man United both lost this weekend.
He's very aware. He doesn't.
No, I just want to make him aware so that he does cook someone. So
no, he doesn't deserve to cook. He doesn't deserve to cook. I'm taking the ingredients out of the kitchen. He don't deserve to cook.
He's got a hammer.
Why have you got a hammer?
He's got a hammer.
Why have you brought?
Someone got hammered by the hammers. Why else?
This guy, you know, this fucking guy.
What this guy say? No.
Listen, this is Battle of the North. It's not Battle of the South, it's Battle of the North. The collaboration show was last week, right? There's a reason why Lawless isn't here. Even the West Ham fan who was on last week, Dan Lawless, he's not even here, right? We were talking about Man United and Tottenham. That's what we were talking about. So
right, then we'll move on to Chelsea and West Ham.
No, we won't.
Has Matisse been this like cranky all day? Is it because of me?
No.
It's because I was there.
His connection messed up. That's what it was.
My connection's moving left. You are Lateness is greatness, and I'm gonna and now you wanna get into cooking me. There's no way. There's just no way.
I'm not trying. I'm just trying to see what the hell we're talking about.
It's about Man United.
Bro,
I thought Battle of the North starts in 25 minutes.
His bandwidth dropped as quickly as Caicedo's value. So,
but anyway, thoughts on Manchester United, Husam. I'll let you go on Man United. Go on.
Oh, you got no more questions for me? Yeah, go on, Husam. Floor's yours. Floor's yours.
Oh, okay. So, what are we talking about? Man United or Chelsea?
Yeah, Man United. We're not talking about
Chelsea. Chelsea.
I mean, I'm not even going to give you the honor you lot today.
We should talk on Chelsea.
Chelsea. Matisse is going to go. Yeah. Talk about Chelsea, West Ham.
No, you've got Man United.
If he's a good sport, he'd allow it. Anyway,
work with that.
Big up Battle of the North audience once again. I'm so sorry, guys. Rookie mistake. I apologize. This happens when you're on the other side of the world. Or when you're
being really apologetic for once.
Because I actually really thought I was here early. Do you understand the realization? I came to my room. I'm like, I'm actually here 20 minutes before. Let me switch on my laptop. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually 40 minutes late. I'm so sorry. So I actually am like apologetic. 'cause
And we're
I am,
ending at
like,
7 because the Crystal Palace Arsenal game straight after. So he ain't even.
Yeah,
Right,
and
so
I
just
forgot
so
you're
real
on
quick
your-
reminder, Husam, last week, I'll give you a real recap. Yeah, last week, yeah, these two above me absolutely cooked you, bro. So do not hold back. Don't think you need to be nice to either of them because you're late.
No,
Both
never,
of them
never.
absolutely
Look at this guy.
lamb to
Look at this
slaughter
guy.
on you, bro. While
Look
I
at
was
this
trying to
guy.
back you, these two
Look at
tried
this
to slaughter you.
guy.
They had no remorse. So listen,
I
they're
did not
two
cook.
tips.
I did not cook Husam. That's
Don't
incorrect.
this
hold
guy.
back, bro. Don't feel you have to be
You
polite.
think
or
I
anything.
forgot Mr. Tyler Adams? I don't forget. I'm like a
That's the
camel.
question. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no. Like,
can't- that's-
anyway,
that's
let
the
me
question.
speak. Let me speak.
Camel
Khalas,
might be
we've
better
done
in
our
your
apologies.
midfield, to be honest. But
You know?
go on.
I think Matisse is more upset at his internet than me. Here's the thing: Manchester United and Chelsea. I'm gonna be honest with you. Man United. Let me just start with Chelsea first because it's fresh off.
No. You're going to start with Man United. I'm running the show. Let me make this very clear to you.
Get a
I'm
car.
That's a
running this show
bucket.
today.
That's
you
a
want
bucket.
to
Are you
free?
threatening me?
You want someone to host properly. I'm a host. You're late, 40 minutes.
So now
ain't
you wanna
talking
host
about Chelsea.
properly.
You're not talking
Now you
about
wanna host
Chelsea.
properly.
We legitimately do not have time for you to talk about Chelsea. You're going to talk about Manchester United. We're going to move on to all of your teams, and then we
Hold
gone.
on. Give
We
him-
ain't got
give him
time
a
to talk about Chelsea.
give him a
If
card,
you don't
give him
want
a
to talk about
card.
Chelsea, you should have got here on time. So let's talk
Bro,
about
that
Manchester United.
Guys,
right
don't
there.
mention
my
Husam,
club.
hold on.
Stop
hold on.
mentioning my
Husam just-
club.
Husam
Why
just
you
moved
gonna
like
analyze
Caicedo-
about
Husam
Arsenal
moved
and
We
like
ain't talking
Caicedo
about
then.
Chelsea. We ain't
No,
talking about
he was
Chelsea.
moving like
Y'all
Caicedo. He
got
came on and
50
gave away a
y'all got
penalty
15
instantly.
minutes. We ain't talking about Chelsea. We ain't talking about Chelsea. We ain't got no
Damn.
time.
Okay, guys. By the way,
That's it. That's it.
Matisse
Whether you
is
like it or
rattled.
not. Don't blame me. Blame Husam. That's it.
No,
Don't blame
I
me,
don't
blame
even have to
Husam.
talk about Chelsea. You're already rattled enough. When it comes to Man United, I'm gonna be honest with you. There is no difference from what I saw in the second half from Man United under Oli. And there is 100% a lack of balance in that team. There's a lack of balance in that midfield. Now Flawless is going to come tell us he didn't want Mount. Yes, I agree. He didn't want Mount. But the problem is his manager wanted Mount. And 99% of the people would tell you Mount and Bruno doesn't work. It's not balanced. The balance is just not there in the midfield. And they're doing to Casemiro what we did to Fabinho last season, which is tell him you need to cover 50 acres of space. So the problem is, yeah, I know, Sophia. He's just, I don't know what it was. He's
Hey,
on
big
his
up Sophia,
analysis.
man.
I don't know
Cheers,
what
brother.
analysis he's going to do for the next hour about Arsenal Palace. But anyway, when it comes to United, that second half was embarrassing because Spurs were all over them. Spurs genuinely cooked like Manchester United. And I have to say, Maddison for me was unbelievable in that game. Their entire midfield was unbelievable in that game. And the worrying signs for Man United is lack of balance that's insisted on by the manager is an even bigger problem to solve than anything else. Because when that's crystal clear to see that there is such a lack of balance in this midfield, and the guy is going on with the same midfield again, is a worrying sign to see. I've seen Man United fans going like, "Oh, we should have been 2-0 up in the first half." I can say the same thing. Pedro Porro hits the crossbar. That's a goal. I can say about the other one, other time that hits the post. I can say how in the second half Spurs could have scored four more goals. In the first two games, Man United have conceded 40 shots, ladies and gentlemen. 4-0. 40 shots they've conceded in 2 games of football. The same Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Sorry, go on.
The same Wolverhampton Wanderers that they needed corruption to beat lost 4-1 to Brighton. 4-1 to Brighton in their own backyard. Brighton went to Wolverhampton. They beat Wolverhampton in Wolverhampton 4-1. That's the same team that they needed corruption to beat and a dodgy handball decision. So when it comes to Man United, this is why whenever people keep telling me, are you worried about Man United? I say they're an afterthought for this specific reason. There is just no balance there. And it's crystal clear to see Erik ten Hag's talent ID ain't there, which is why he needs a sporting director. He needs help. He needs someone to help him identify these talents because he ain't identifying them right, in my opinion. And Man United have these next 9 days to somehow find a solution because now the truth is, you want to hear the unfortunate truth? They're screwed either way. Because if they bench Bruno, all hell's going to break loose in that dressing room. If they bench Mason Mount, all hell is going to break loose on Mason Mount Brothers Instagram. And he's going to be like, did you pay 60 million so I could sit on the bench? And he's going to start releasing stuff to the media. And it becomes a whole toxic situation. Because the reality is the only way they both coexist in the same team is if one of them goes to the wing. And that significantly weakens Man United as well. It's either Bruno goes right wing or Mason Mount goes right wing or left wing. That's the only way that works. Because other than that, that just doesn't make sense. So for me, Man United, currently, as things stand, they need to switch up personnel on the pitch and the balance that they're bringing to the games, because the balance ain't there. Rashford came off the pitch, he was upset. I hear why you're upset, because also if you watch Man United in preseason, I'm sure Matisse did, and he gave you an analysis 1 hour before. Sancho played false 9. Rashford played left wing. So if you're Sancho, you're upset, and if you're Rashford, you're upset. And so because it just doesn't make sense all round. Now, people keep speaking on Mount and Bruno. There's one final player I want to talk about, and that's Anthony. Flawless been consistent about this. This is the season where Anthony has to deliver. All this hugging people, blah, blah, blah. This guy costs 85 million. 85 million with a Brazilian passport comes expectations, whether he likes it or not. The guy needs to deliver, or at least, even if he's a bot who doesn't have the Jogo Bonito side, at least give me GA, give me something. The problem is the guy ain't really offering anything. And he really needs to do a lot better for Man United to achieve anything this season. And based on what I've spoken to the Man United fans, and this is not just like people from Spaces, this like actual United fans who go to the game as well, who really are looking at Ten Hag differently this season, and they've been really upset after the first 2 games. As when it comes to Chelsea, all I want is Caicedo.
We're moving on. We got to talk about Liverpool, and we got to talk about Man City. So whether you like it or
let's
not,
bring back bad memories.
Just a quick one, just to end on the Manchester United segment.
We're moving on.
Just to end on the Manchester United segment. Just one question for Matisse: have you still got a second? That's all I want to know.
Huh?
Do you still
have Manchester United finishing second in the Premier League?
When the window closes,
me or him?
I will. When the window.
You don't have a second.
When the window closes, I will revise my predictions. This is why I don't like making predictions before the window closes.
That's
if Man City were to sign absolutely nobody, and obviously they've now signed,
we'd still win the league.
You probably still win it, but at least there would be a little bit more of a discussion, right? If you go and sign 2 more players in the 8 positions, and
two more on top of Doku coming in.
Yeah, no one. See, look, this is what I'm saying. Nobody's gonna have a discussion. If Man United make signings, if Amrabat comes in, Florida suddenly might become a little bit more confident. If you don't sign anybody, then it's a different situation. So, as much as I've made my predictions, I still don't like making predictions, and that's why I've not done any predictions on my channel.
So just one more. So you said you'll be revising.
No, I don't have
So you said just one more thing. So you said you'll be revising it. When will that?
Of course.
When will that revision be happening? On what channel? What platform? Will it be on here?
Yeah, probably on here. Yeah.
Okay,
and
that's
it'll
gonna
be
be there
as well. It'll be on the big six as well.
I will be there.
Listen,
that's what I'm interested.
If you guys make a couple of additions, the whole feel around Manchester United is going to change again. Right now, everybody's down in the dumps. First 2 games, it hasn't worked out, etc., etc. If Manchester United make a couple of signings, people will not be thinking the same way. And it's very rare.
Does Johnny Evans count as one of them?
Yeah, our 5th choice centre back. Shout out Johnny Evans.
I don't think he should.
I thought Maguire was 5th choice.
No. He's 6th if Johnny Evans signs.
Oh Jesus! Well,
he is.
So who's 4th then, and 3rd?
Shaw and Lindelof. You watched this last season.
Eric Bailly still count as an option as well?
No, he's shameless for that. He's shameless.
How am I shameless? Shaw. Hey, don't do that. Shaw played very well at centre back.
He's still there, isn't he?
What are we talking about?
I just want to tell Matisse something. Matisse, I'm not Caicedo. I'm not West Ham.
We're gonna don't be mad about. Let's talk about.
I'm not flawless.
Listen, you're trying to sneak.
I'm not trying anything.
I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you. You should have got the time difference correct. That's your business. Today,
I agree.
Yeah. So we haven't got time. We don't have time.
You should have got.
I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about your team as to why you're ecstatic this weekend. I want to know because I didn't get to watch your game.
Do you have time to get a goal scorer in? Matisse?
I want to talk to you about your team.
Is the ball behind you the Mudryk volley?
So let me know. How did the Liverpool game go? I know McAllister was sent off. I can see you're a bit, jittery now, and you're a bit happy. Is this everything happy now? FSG, no problems. I want to talk to me. I want to know what's going
on. Shout out to the Mudryk ball behind Matisse. I mean, listen. That same 100 million they spent on Mudryk, we spent it on both Szoboszlai and McAllister. So both of them had unbelievable performances in that game. McAllister shouldn't have been sent off. The differences between, certain teams in this league is when we are down to 10 men, we actually win the game 3-1. Other teams, the other opposition's down to 10 men, they lose 3-1. It's crazy. But when it comes to Liverpool Football Club at Anfield, the problems are crystal clear to see. A blind man can notice the problem. It's just that DM position, and we need an extra centre back. Are we going to get it all? No. Why? Because Liverpool never learn from their mistakes. We don't learn from our own mistakes. So I just wish we just learn from our mistakes for once, but I don't see that happening. I see us probably
we're looking to loan out Calvin Phillips, so you can have him, bro.
No, I don't think we get Calvin. We're looking at a DM right now and a center back is not likely. So because we're just focusing on this DM position, we kind of airing the whole center back thing, which I think is dangerous and it will be a problem heading into the season. But look, we'll see what happens in the transfer window. Bournemouth at home, standard win. McAllister never a red, absolutely never a red. That tackle. Even the not Gary O'Neill. What the fuck was his name? The Bournemouth manager. I like how no one knows the Bournemouth manager's name ever. He came out post game and he said like it wasn't a penalty anyway. So even their own manager said it. And listen, in the battle of Endo versus Enzo, it's currently 1-0 to Endo. So Endo made his debut, aggressive. I think there is something he would struggle with, and that's the pace and power a little bit, because he doesn't have that much pace and power. But the things that he can control, he done well. So he tackled well, he was aggressive, he won his duels. But at the end of the day, Flawless has referred to this before, pace and power matters in the Premier League, whether we like it or not. You need pace, you need power, or at least pace. You need one of them. In that DM position, Endo, from a physical perspective, maybe ain't the strongest. So I hope he's not the starting DM, but hey, for someone who's a utility option, he did well.
But do you think he will be the starting DM?
I hope not. With this club, you never know.
I think from what Klopp said, he may well be.
The thing is, though, if you were willing to go 100, if you were willing to go to 110 for Caicedo, how can you not have the money for a centre back and a DM? I don't understand. Unless you're signing Decore. If you're getting Decore, then okay, maybe fair enough. But that's if it's a 70 million outlay. But I don't know what. It doesn't really make sense to me. Where did the money just disappear?
You could then go get a centre back for 40 imps.
Yeah, even still, you still could exactly. You could. Yeah. So
that's a great.
I'm subtracting the 20. What was it? 20 for the Endo guy that you just signed.
18 million euros.
18 million euros. Wow, 15 million pounds. So I don't know. Your board is kind of very confusing. One minute they have the money, then they don't. It's like magic. They play tricks on everyone. It's very strange behavior. But listen, Liverpool. I've said it before with obviously, if you're not getting a centre back, I feel like I agree with you. You're leaving yourself in a very dangerous position. At this current moment, though, where do you have your team in the table with what you currently have? I'm going to ask Flawless and Daps. Daps is obviously first. I feel like asking Daps this is a pointless question. You've third behind Arsenal and Manchester City.
Yes.
Flawless, where do you have your team?
Currently constructed. Fuck.
No, this is Battle of the North. You don't need to do that. That was last week.
Jesus. I've been tying up with this as well. That's the thing. It's so bad.
Pause.
For fuck's sake. Okay. This is a good question. I'm actually trying to go through this.
Never felt more
Definitely not top 4. 100%. Definitely
you
not
don't
top
have them even in top 4.
No, because they're not bad.
Give us a number. Give us a number. You could be wrong.
I'm trying to think.
Okay.
No. I'm just actually trying to think to make sure it's between 5th and 6th. That's what I'm trying to think of.
It depends on
more like singing the blues.
6.
City win.
No, I think Newcastle
United lose. Oh, 6.
Wait, is this where he thinks Liverpool would finish, or where he thinks he would finish?
It's where I think I said us, United.
Oh. Yeah, because I'm thinking, how the hell did you go from 2nd to 6th so quick? I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
Don't know. You did that a few seasons ago, didn't you? For Sam, to be fair.
No, that's a lie. We went from 5th.
This guy, us now. That's currently constructed 6th. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Manchester United, yeah.
Shit.
Matisse, where do you finish? It's not an analysis question, so don't think, oh my God, Battle of the North. I'm just asking where you finished. That's it. Don't have to fight me.
I wasn't going to fight you. Currently, probably 3rd or 4th, but that's kind of the expectation for me. Well, you got one game a week. It's funny about Husam's laughing because we played Liverpool last week and we should have beaten them. Second half, they
we made you look good.
Ragdolled. So it's crazy that 1 week later, Husam is able to obviously speak down on Chelsea. We lost, fair enough, and suddenly his mood is so.
Last week you told me 21 from 21. You're already 0 from 3. 100%, so where do you go from here?
100%.
Yeah,
but
100%.
Just remember, last week you didn't beat this Chelsea team.
Why does Antonio look like R9?
You were dominated.
Is that a difficult question to ask?
No, it's just.
Why does Antonio look like R9? Simple question.
Huh?
Why does Paqueta look like Prime Iniesta against you? Why can't Mudryk score a goal 8 months into his career? Important questions
Who?
that I would have asked had I not been 40 minutes late.
Who? Which player has scored 8 months into the?
Mudryk.
Brother, Mudryk has had like what 7 starts. I think it is now. Mudryk is not even a consistent starter. So yes, I know you wanna make your claims about Mudryk, but you're talking to the wrong person because I didn't say we should sign Mudryk.
Okay, you didn't say you should sign Mudryk, but do you understand why people criticize Chelsea's contracts now? Can you actually be objective about it?
Bro,
or do you just want to be tribal?
Listen, I have already said that yes, it is a risk to give anyone an 8-year contract. I know why we've done it financially. I've never said it wasn't a risk. Obviously, the players have to work out, but I'm not gonna start slam dunking on Mudryk, who's not even consistently starting.
No, you shouldn't slam dunk on Mudryk. I'm talking about your club. Now let's assume, just for the sake of argument, he's shit this season, and you go like, I want to sell the guy. Who's gonna buy a 7-year contract out of Mudryk?
I'm not expecting us to try and sell him 1 year into his contract because
I'm just giving as an example. Assume he's absolute trash this season and you decide to sell him. Who's going to buy out?
That will be the fault of the recruitment team, and then they will have to be held accountable.
And that's why people address Chelsea. It's
100%,
not how
that would apply even for 5+ 1 year deals. It replies.
And how do you spend 1 billion and Burstow's coming off from your bench? Like honestly,
Bruyne is injured. Bruyne is injured. So and then
as if Bruyne is like unbelievable. Like
no, he's not. But he's a good player. I think he's a good player. But Nkuku's also injured as well. So because Nkuku's out until Christmas.
When's he back? Actually,
he's not back.
He makes a difference as well. He makes a big difference.
So in the first we've had preseason, Nkuku gets injured. Cool. Move on. Now we got Carney in the 10. Carney scores. Carney gets injured. Cool. Reece James last week injured. At this point, we're averaging an injury per game. So I'm looking forward to.
Are you looking at your fitness team? Ready to have a moan about your fitness team?
Bro, I'm not a medic. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what the issue is and why we keep picking up these injuries.
He's just a referee.
It needs to come to an end because we can't build anything consistent if you keep picking up injuries to players that were meant to be key parts of your team. This whole team was going to be built around Nkuku. He's going to play in the 10. He would have definitely helped with the goal scoring issues. Next thing you know, he's out until he's out for 4 months, whatever it is. Same applies to Timber at Arsenal. Same applies to Kevin De Bruyne at Man City. But it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse because we have to find another way. We have to find another way, and I need to see points. And that West Ham game for me, we should have won that because if we had taken our chances, very similar to the Man United game. Even though second half we were awful, Man United second half were awful. If we had taken the chances we should have taken in the first half, we would have been 2-1 up in that game.
Well, that's a poor excuse because I could say the same thing even about last week. Honestly, the first 25 minutes, had we taken our chances, we would have won the game.
Sure, but this is why you have to take your chances in football. But I don't think Liverpool have an issue long-term taking chances. I think your issue will be defensively. I think you guys, I expect you to take your chances. You've got more than enough forwards, Diaz, Salah, etc. So I don't expect that to be a problem.
Can I say one final thing before you punch me in the face? Because I know you really want to punch me in the face right now. And I don't blame you because I'm annoying like that. Here's the thing. When it comes to the Chelsea situation. No, he wants. I can tell by his face reactions.
No,
like
I'm laughing at you saying, yeah, I know.
I'm next to this guy, he would be throwing hands. I'm telling you right now. So here's the thing. Just genuinely, right? I told you one of my things with Chelsea is I don't think culturally as a fan base, you guys have patience. Now, I know this isn't you, but your thoughts on the Chelsea fans that are already questioning / turning on Pochettino.
I have not even seen these people. I think there's just been criticism. I haven't seen anybody turn on Pochettino. I don't know again what Twitter spaces you're hanging out in.
I
don't like you bringing your culture of Twitter spaces to YouTube because it's a different platform. So kind of speak about what happens here would be great because you keep bringing this Twitter space energy over here.
I'm just asking.
But you every time you're asking me what happens on Twitter space, I don't do Twitter spaces. I'm
not. I'm asking about the culture of patience.
Yeah, but there's a culture of patience at every club. Manchester United fans will lose patience with Ten Hag if they lose another 3 games. Arsenal fans have lost patience.
No, hold on. I've got a great one today.
Hold on a second. Arsenal fans have lost patience.
Some already lost it, by the way, with Ten Hag.
Like 3 or 4 times and wanted Arteta to be sacked. Nobody is going to have patience for any performances that are continuous.
No, but it's different.
You are jumping. Hold on a second. You are jumping in.
You know it's different at Chelsea. You know it's different.
Let me finish what I'm saying. You are making spaces directly after Chelsea full-time whistle blows and then talking to me about why do Chelsea fans not like Poch. Come on, man. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You've gone to the most to the most reactionary platform, made a space after full-time when we've lost, and Chelsea
The
fans
dog
have
was
started
Sam
cuss-
6, if you wanna
Chelsea
listen
fans
to
have
this.
started cussing, and now you want me to take that emotional reactionary energy and apply it here with context and talk about
You
it.
get me,
No,
blood.
I'm not gonna do that. It's been 2
Okay,
games.
I'm
It's
asking about a different culture. I'm asking about the fan. I'm asking about the Chelsea culture. What you're saying is every fan base loses patience. When I spoke about Man United, did I not say to Flawless some people are losing patience with Ten Hag? I'm saying the same. I'm not.
What?
I'm
Bro,
not.
yeah, but that's different. Ten Hag's
Ah,
been at
hear
Man
me out.
United
I'm
for-
not treating him
for
differently.
a season.
All I'm saying is, you know, your fan base over the last 20 years have lived a different life. We cannot deny that they've lived a different life, in which you get a short-term manager and 2-3 years is probably his lifespan. You win something second year, third year, if it falls off, you sack him. That's just how the Chelsea way. Now with Poch, it's a different world with Poch.
I don't care for 2 reasons: because it's his second game in charge, and also because I expect us to win our next batch of games. If that doesn't
Chelsea starter pack.
If that doesn't happen, you know, you look at the fixtures we've got coming up; they're very favourable. If we don't win these games after, you know, the next 5-6 games, and then there's turmoil, which there probably will be.
West Ham was favourable though.
Yeah, it's favourable. We should have won that, but like I said, there's Luton next, so it doesn't. It gets even. It gets.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If
on
you lose to
paper even
Luton
better.
at home or draw, that's when you expect a real man.
I don't have conversations about managers' futures after 2 games in charge of a football club. That is just the next level of foolishness. I'm sorry. Ten Hag's been doing he's done a whole year. He's now in his second season. That's a whole different conversation. But Chelsea at this current moment, I shouldn't have to be saying to Chelsea fans to keep yourself calm with Poch after 2 matches. If they can't do that for themselves, then they can. That's their business. I'll let them be guided by the higher powers that be.
You get me, blood.
Bro, stop doing that, bro. I don't know if bro, is it Troops? Is it Troops that's influencing this guy?
Mauricio,
it must be.
No, is it?
It must be.
It must be Troops, isn't it?
Must be.
You've been hanging around Troops too long.
My
You get me, blood. My man, but bro, stop! You're from Jordan.
Nico Ratsklad Jackson.
Oh my!
Missed all 3 big chances.
Guys,
Nico
Flawless. He's actually making me unwell listening to him. I swear to God, I can't listen.
Man legit just said Nico Rascal
Oh
Jackson.
my God.
Is it Troops? Do I?
Yeah, it has to be, bro. Has to be.
Oh my
It's
days,
Troops.
man.
Matisse, I'm not O2. You're mad at me. Not your internet.
Please.
But yeah, but back to what you were saying there, Matisse, about like Chelsea fans being like upset.
I wish I was here
Pochettino
earlier. I really am. I'm angry at myself. You know?
I'm angry. I'm angry. We're all angry with you. The viewers are angry with you. I'm angry with you. Everybody's
I don't
angry.
think Daps is angry with me. Don't speak for
we argue
Daps
with
like
you.
that.
Nah,
Daps
we are.
ain't
And
angry.
that's not to do with
Flawless
you
is
being late.
probably happy that I'm here late because he doesn't have to deal with my headache. So it's different.
I wanted to hear what you had to say. That's actually the most reasonable I've heard you after United defeat.
See,
I really
there
have
you
no
are.
complaints.
But just
I
Matisse
didn't
has
have. You didn't say nothing that I can. I'm like, yeah, that's off. You're spot on pretty much.
Yeah. I've been reasonable with all my analysis. I'm a very reasonable person. Very reasonable.
I won't go. I won't say
I
all
don't
that.
know why Caicedo
It's
there and it didn't suck. That's all I want to know.
Slow down there, buddy.
Matisse, do you feel like you're missing leaders on the pitch?
It's a young team, so they will have to grow in to their leadership role.
Was that a yes?
I don't think. Do you know what? I don't think it is that, because I see us playing people in positions that I would rather them not be in. I see us playing 3 centre backs when we're playing against 10 men. I see us playing Chilwell as a left winger. I see us not playing what we played in pre-season, which was a lot more attractive and attack-minded football. So I don't want to go to this leadership.
Is that pressure
thing.
because you haven't got leaders?
No, it's just the manager deciding that we don't have the midfield balance because Caicedo and Lavia weren't ready. But
It's
my thing
different
would be
playing friendlies to playing in the big Premier League.
Of course, and that's 100%. But for me, I would say that you've got Santos, who played in pre-season. He played as the deepest midfielder. Why not use him and go back to what you were doing in pre-season? For Liverpool, fair enough, they got a very deadly attack. But against Ben Rama, Antonio, and Bowen, I'm not really trying to hear that we need to go with 3 centre backs, especially when you concede anyway. We conceded from a set piece in 6 minutes. Conceded 3 goals. So it's
but you must have saw that coming. You're playing against West Ham United 100%. With Ward Prowse now. 100%. Like that's the one thing everyone has to look at this team and go, they're good at set pieces anyway. Now you've got Ward Prowse. Well, Gallagher, and maybe got carried away with Gallagher.
He's marking a.
Gallagher had a good half against Liverpool, and all of a sudden thought it was Casemiro or something. I don't know what was going on.
Bro, listen, let me not speak because I said. With this guy just praise in isolation, he's still not the guy that should be starting for us, and that's my opinion.
Praise in isolation.
Yeah, praise in isolation.
That's-
You're gonna
I'm
use that
gonna
one.
use that. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
use that
I'm gonna use
100%.
that. That's fire.
Yeah.
I always
That's going
when
to
I
be
use
used as much as Lateness is greatness now.
Yeah. And I credit everyone. If I hear a quote from someone like that's smart, I'll be like, you know what? Yeah. Word to such and such. That's fire. Man said praise in isolation.
You got to
That's
sometimes you do, because if you don't rate the player, some people will take your praise and say, oh, that means you rate them now.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, no, don't get it twisted. I still don't rate them, but I'm giving them their fair dues
Yeah,
when
yeah,
they
you give them
deserve
their
it
flowers.
because they've played well. It
Do you
doesn't
feel the
change
same about
it doesn't
Raheem
change-
Sterling yesterday?
Listen, Raheem Sterling was fantastic yesterday.
Yeah,
He played
he
very
was.
well yesterday.
He was.
He played very well.
My
Very,
thing has
very
never
well.
been with. Listen, I didn't want to sign Raheem Sterling. I wanted Jesus. I remember saying that a lot at the time. I felt like we should have signed him because he was good value for money, even though he's not perfect himself. But the thing is with Sterling is, I just said he needs to step up this season. And in that game, I would say that he did. He was brilliant. He was genuinely actually very, very, very good. He's taking the ball past 2-3 players. Whether or not he's able to sustain that, that's another question. Probably.
That performance has had one
But again, you have to
one or
praise in
two big city Twitter accounts saying
that you should get him back.
over Grealish that if we had him over Grealish, we would have won the quadruple.
It's way like wow.
Telling people
Let me just say on
Sterling.
Sterling is a player now where he's of the age and of the experience where he needs to be doing that consistently. I'm not trying to, like I said, you get your praise. It was a great performance, but let's not pretend like as if you haven't been pretty poor for your whole career at Chelsea so far. So there's a lot of work to do. Do you know what I mean? But it was actually like it was a top performance from Sterling, like genuinely top performance. He's the only person that can come off that pitch and say, yeah, I put the work in and I deserve to be on the winning team. He created a lot of good opportunities for our players. We didn't take them. So it is what it is. But yeah, man, listen, with City, we spoke about it briefly, but I know Daps was saying before we even started recording, it wasn't the glitz and glamour performance. I felt like Foden was the standout, the one guy that was making
cover was great. Do you know what? I think Kovacic is really good. I'm 29 million euros for Kovacic right now is looking like the way he's come in and just settled into this City team, knows the role and can do the role. The way he can drive with the ball as well. Look, people will say, yeah, but he's not going to get you the GA that Gundogan got you. That's fine. We didn't bring him in to be Gundogan, right? So, but the way he can drive forward through the lines, press resistant, we need to speak. Kovacic is looking really good for us, but then as well with Foden. And this is the thing people need to remember. I've been told while I was still in Athens, I'm going on my own channel, you know, where you can go on YouTube Studio and check the comments, and I'm seeing, all right, so my own channel's running agendas against City, saying we weren't convincing against Seville. These times I'm in the stadium sweating buckets. That's how hot it was, yeah, thinking, come on, man, give us a break. We're over here. We've won it, yeah. I've got Cass talking about City, and I'm like, bro, Seville beat you 3-0. Like, I don't know what Arsenal fans talking. Look, Sporting Lisbon, was it, put you out of the Europa on penalties. We win on penalties, but still that's not good enough. No problem. We win that. We come back. We've got Bernardo Silva out. We've got De Bruyne out. We've got no Gundogan. We've got John Stones out, right? So our midfield is consisting of 4 people that have not really played together playing in there, right? And we're playing against a Newcastle team that everyone was saying last weekend people need to be weary of, that, you know, Newcastle. And I'll openly admit, I'm one of the ones saying, yeah, this is the best time to play Manchester City right now. We're knackered because we didn't get back from Athens till Thursday, training, having to play Saturday, where Arsenal were playing on Monday, but we're the ones that played midweek but are playing on Saturday. It doesn't make sense. We were there to be got at. But you know what? We were 100%, bro. Of course we were, because we're tired. We're playing without the same. We are, you could say, midfield slightly in transition, because we're having to change how we play now without De Bruyne being able to put those balls in, without Gundogan hitting the box late to get those goals. It's different, but this just makes me respect ultimately Pep Guardiola even more, because he just ultimately thought, Newcastle, they've got that midfield. They've got a lot of control. They've got legs in midfield. And ultimately, he just pat that midfield, put Walker further up the pitch, and he scared Newcastle. Newcastle, like, he had Foden and Alvarez kind of floating about almost like kind of tens, yeah? Yep. He had Haaland holding the defenders where they need to be in the box, and it just worked. And that's the thing, that Pep is evolving every season. And when people say to me about us needing players and whatever else and blind trust, that I've got blind trust in Pep Guardiola. I do, and I've got no problem admitting that. But I'm allowed to have more blind trust in Pep Guardiola than Flawless is in signing Højlund, is Matisse is in that McAllister and Endo are going to come in and transform Liverpool's midfield, or you that your kindergarten's going to come in and hit the ground running. I'm allowed to have blind faith in Pep Guardiola. And now today I'm seeing that, you know what? Doku's over the line.
Kindergarten?
Matisse's kindergarten.
It wasn't that funny, Husam.
I didn't think so either. That's why I carried on going with it. But anyway,
fair enough.
but now we've got Doku over the line. That's good. I'm hearing two more before the window closes. One of them excites me a lot. I don't know if I can say yet, and it's not done, so I'm not going to. But one of them excites me quite a bit. But yeah, I'm just here thinking this is it. This is City, August City, when we're at our worst. If we can grind out 1-0 results against what I actually think, I said before that Newcastle game, that might be our hardest game of the season. That's what I was expecting. Newcastle to come against a City that are a little bit tired.
This Newcastle hype, man.
I was a bit disappointed in Newcastle. I thought they would have at least.
Did I not tell you?
They couldn't string 2-3 passes together. And listen,
And
I know the remit. They did it last season at the Emirates, but I just thought with the team that they've assembled, they knowing that this is probably the weakest time to catch City, because City are traditionally slow starters, and they have most of their key players, either some of them sold or injured, and they haven't done their transfer business completely. I thought that would have been the perfect time for them to capitalize, and Newcastle just didn't offer much. Even when the last 10 minutes came up and it was like, okay, throw the kitchen sink at it, see if you can get an equalizer. I never really felt Newcastle were at any point trying to force.
Do you know what it is?
So it was just a bit disappointing.
Do you know what it is? I've said this, and there's 2 players in our team. People say Haaland. If Haaland doesn't play, what is City going to do? I honestly believe if Haaland doesn't play, we will find a way, right? We've got enough creativity to find a way.
Alvarez?
No, for me, the two that we cannot miss are Rodri and Ruben Diaz, right? Those two. And it's their mentality.
No, I'm saying if Haaland doesn't play Alvarez.
Oh, yeah, 100%, bro. And you could even push Foden back up top and play Foden as a false 9. That's worked before. And even you have to be real. 3 years ago, when in January 2021, De Bruyne got injured, Aguero was injured, and everyone's like, oh, what's City going to do? And you've got to remember, this is when Gundogan had not been seen as a goal scorer. Pep decided to play Gundogan as a false 9. He ended up our top goal scorer. He won the league. So I have no doubt in Pep, but I just think Rodri and Diaz, and it was great to see Vardy had a lot better game as well. So it's just the managers just is what it is. We've got that now. Now we've got an easy run. I think we've got Sheffield United on a Saturday. Then we've got Fulham at home a week after. Then we've got the international break. By the time the international break's done, Stones will be back. Looks like Walker and Bernardo Silva are signing new contracts. So all of this panic that everyone wants to see at Manchester City and everyone is trying their absolute hardest to create just isn't going to happen. And right now, I'll be honest, I'm usually not that confident in August and September. You got to remember, we've lost 5-2 at home to Leicester before. I'm very confident at the moment, thinking if this is us at our worst, then everyone needs to be quaking in their boots, because
everybody's always quaking in their boots. Don't worry. That's the one thing I can count on. Let me go through these super chats. You're better come and do your juju on Arsenal. We will be there. We will be there. Palace is very soon. Before we come, the Man United is toxic anyways. The players there are only there for the banter club.
Okay.
That's fair.
I do feel like the wage structures.
Anthony,
yeah,
same thing.
Yeah. Only there for the
wage structures have definitely got to come down. We've been bringing ours down. I think Man United probably got to bring theirs down. Listen, Man United can afford to do it, but it's for motivation and whatnot, probably not the best. Start bench, sell Anthony, Mudryk or Pepe. Lord heavens, this is one hell of a question. I'm still starting Mudryk over Anthony, but yeah, that Anthony versus Mudryk thing is going to be the talk of the town this season. I'm starting. I'm going to. Why didn't you get it? You think?
No, the question I'm talking about. They're all bad. I don't get these things.
Yeah, well, I'm selling Pepe because look what he's done.
I just never understand. Yeah. I've seen this not with Pepe. It's always, Anthony or Mudryk. They're both bad. What are we talking about?
Looks like Pepe might come back as well, right?
Yeah.
Can't tell what.
Wonder if that's to do with who we might end up be getting.
Well, you're not getting Paqueta, so yeah, you will be going for
No. A target that Arsenal had that it looks like we might be in for as well. So
Kudus?
Let me not. I'm not going to play the
Target
guessing game.
that Arsenal were in for.
yeah.
I'm just going to accept the.
If you
Kudus?
go and check. No, go and check. It's not on the breaking news yet, but if you go and check today who Arsenal have been talking to, there's another person that Arsenal have been talking to, Barcelona player, that City I think.
Rafinha?
Fati.
Ansu Fati. Oh, Ansu Fati. Okay.
Okay, interesting. I'd actually like to see that because I do want to see.
So would I.
Yeah. Content creators, pundits love more. We can't see that, brother, on your trap phone.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Brother, please.
I'd share screen, but Matisse would never put it up because he don't have the balls to do it.
I thought that was a ginger troll.
I'm wrapping up. That's mainly why.
You're wrapping up has nothing to do with putting up a picture, Matisse. Can you put it up?
Should have just got it on time. Or avoiding a cooking creates so much negativity around the club. I remember that story about City rattling Arsenal last year in the run-in.
People put way too much credit on content creators and the impact we have. Let me just clarify this. Us four here have no impact on the results at the club.
Be a man, Matisse. Be a man.
Be
a man, Matisse. Don't hide behind it. Don't hide.
Hold on. Who does TA19 support? Does anyone know?
Yeah.
No
Before
idea.
we go to that though, just for the last one, people put way too much credit and stock on content creators. And why there's negativity surrounding Manchester United is because of Manchester United. If they were playing well and winning games, everybody would be positive. Simple as that. Results changes the mood. There's nothing to do with us.
As for why Daps trying to act like an elite club, stop the act. Respectfully, mate, if you mean I'm trying to act like Manchester City, a big club, I think if you do, I'd never say that. As for an elite club, well, if you're a Man United fan, we've won more trophies. Sorry, we've won the same number of trophies, Lowit, in the last 4 weeks. Last 12 weeks, as you have in the last 12 years. So if we're talking about elite, I'd probably say at the moment Manchester City are a bit of an elite club. But yeah, as a Man United fan, I know it's based on how big you are as a club. So
oh shit, I accidentally removed.
I thought you'd done that on purpose because he put that up.
I accidentally kicked him out.
Hold on, but you can just bring him back in. It's just one button.
I kicked him out. No, he's gone. Like I kicked him out of the whole studio.
Hey, so Sam, hold that, fam. Hold that.
Did they actually just kick me?
Yeah, he did.
Is this the same guy that called me on Snapchat for 4 days in a row when the Lavia Caicedo thing was happening? You can't take a bit of banter?
It was an accident. It was an accident. I was trying.
No, it wasn't an accident because you have to click the 3 dots on my name. That's what.
I was trying to remove. No, I was trying to remove the share screen. I was trying to kick the guest out, so kick the thing out, and then I ended up kicking you out. I didn't know both of them was linked.
Oh
anyway.
yeah. Okay.
Flawless. Let the people know where to find you. Absolute pleasure.
As always, man. And big up, man. As always enjoy the show. And that's me, Flawless, on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And then Sarcasm City TV. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, live every day. Go follow the Twitch as well, live every day. Of course, covering Manchester United, as well as the clubs here and the rest of the Big Six, plus more. So make sure you check it out, people. Sarcasm City TV on YouTube and on Twitch. Big up for having me as always, Matisse.
Pleasure. Absolute pleasure, man. Husam. How you doing, bro?
Where you can find me? You can find me hunting for every single Caicedo mistake. We will be there. That's where you can find me. Up the Hammers, who hammered Chelsea this week. Big up, guys. Showing them that money does not buy class. So they can hold that. And yeah, you can find me on This Is Football on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at the Don Husam 6. You get me, the infamous spaces that get on Matisse's nerves. And I just want to say, look, once again, I apologize to the audience for being late. I could have cooked these guys for 40 minutes straight, but unfortunately, I just messed up the time frames. And make sure to go watch Matisse's watch along, for critical analysis. If you want vibes, I'm doing a watch along too. So come check out that one if you want as well. So
this guy's so
big up to you guys. And yeah, like the video and subscribe to Matisse's channel, man.
Fucking move that hammer out my face, man. Daps, let the people know to find you. Pleasure as always, bro.
On your head top! Fuck it up!
This guy having the time of his life, you know. This is fucking.
I am.
He's woke up, innit? I think he was sleeping before and he's woke up now.
I really feel like Pepe Sarr when he scored his first goal. Unbelievable, man.
So yeah, you can find me on Never Foul.
Two birds with one stone. Husam,
find me on
Shut up!
You can find me on Never a Foul. Never a Foul, there we go. And make sure you stay on here. Is it going to redirect to your watch along?
Yeah.
I hope you settled that. Right, so make sure you stay here. Redirect to Matisse's watch along. Yeah, not his watch along. Matisse's watch along. Don't go anywhere near that one. I'm joking. I'm joking. Support both. Listen, get 2 TVs. I often do it. Get two TVs.
Gets 2 TVs going.
2 TVs and put them both on and just leave them both playing. Even if you don't
Caroline,
listen, just leave
Matisse
them
is
running
like
to help the
proper
watch time
football
hours.
head.
There we go.
I'm the only reason I'm doing a watch along is Decore watch, and he's probably we're not gonna buy him anyway, so it's just gonna be another waste of my time. So yeah, I can't wait to waste my own time. Liverpool Football
But
Club,
yeah,
pick up.
pleasure being here.
What a way
Never
to
a
it.
Foul YouTube channel. Live
Guys,
at
this
10
is an
PM.
Arab hammer because all people keep saying, "Why do you get the small hammer?" I got the big one, but the one like its head this big, bigger than Matisse's head.
Why
So
have you got
this
two
right
hammers?
here is the Arab hammer.
Pause.
This
Why have
is
you got
what you
two, why
use
have you got
for
2
nails.
hammers though?
Pause again.
No, I do. I have 4 hammers actually.
Why?
Yes, no.
Why?
Pause.
Why?
No, because there are different size nails.
Pause.
There are different size nails. The nails that we use for furniture use this one. Like the ones for your closet, for your wardrobe.
Pause.
What? Hold on. Are you like a DIY man or something else?
Bro, I'm from Jordan, Daps. We have to learn how to fix things on our own. Like, not every time, hello, okay, come fix it. No, I will fix it by myself.
Bit like Klopp at Liverpool.
Well,
Yeah, but Klopp's doing it all wrong, though.
I'm done. Subscribe.
Up the hammers!
Fuck off.
3, 2, 1.